Laura Ingraham, did you see her clip?
No, what did she do?
She was like really like talking him down. It was like she was addressing the public, not Trump, but it was very clear she was talking to Trump, and she was like trying to like praise him. She was like, oh, if Trump, when Trump stepping down with all the grace that he showed with Savannah Guthrie, that's going to leave him a powerful legacy, that legacy that we know he has. Like, it was very, let me see. I want to see if I can find it.
It's kind of like reverse psychology almost.
Exactly, yeah.
I mean, the one person who I think will stay in his corner till the end on Fox is Hannity. Hannity has gone full insane. Yeah, but the rest of them seem to be jumping ship.
You want to see the Laura Ingraham thing? I was thinking it would be so funny if she was like the resistance hero.
If and when it's time to accept an unfavorable outcome in this election, and we hope it never comes.
Here it is.
If and when that does happen, President Trump needs to do it with the same grace and composure he demonstrated at that town hall with Savannah Guthrie. But losing, if that's what happens, it's awful. But President Trump's legacy will only become more significant if he focuses on moving the country forward. And then the love and respect his supporters feel for him, it's only going to grow stronger.
Oh, so she's trying to play to his vanity.
There you go. Yeah, vanity.
The media knows he'll be a GOP kingmaker for 2022 and 2024. No doubt.
No doubt.
They know he's a political hero to tens of millions of Americans.
Yeah.
She's really trying to sell this to him.
Too.
But do you think it's true that his base would respect him for that? Because I get no sign that they would.
Expanded
support
among minorities.
I don't think so either. But
Trump should make them all eat their own words. But more importantly,
a good question.
He should do it for the voters. It was all worth it. We all helped reshape the national conversation on China, on immigration, on trade, and political correctness, et cetera,
et cetera.
We don't have time to bury our heads in crying towels. There are 2 Senate races to win in order to hold the Senate. There's money to be raised, speeches to be written and delivered, ads to be made, and ballot canvassing events.
I mean, you're right. Like, does she actually believe that, or is she just saying that because she's afraid of what will happen if he doesn't do that?
Yeah, that's a good question. I get the sense that she's just saying whatever she thinks will get him out of office more than she's really believing what she's saying. And so I think she's catering to his vanity, because I don't see I feel like his people, they like the show of strength. That's what they like.
Yeah, I agree.
That's what they
so
for.
What do you think is motivating her? Like, do you think that she doesn't want, what do you think is motivating her? She just
maybe it's those other races that she's talking about. Maybe she's thinking it's going to hurt the GOP overall, his antics. That's going to hurt, for lack of a better word, the brand. Maybe the word he's going to hurt the brand or something. Or maybe it's not even the brand of the GOP, but the brand of Fox. Like, if he becomes a laughing stock and Fox is viewed as his puppets, then he's gonna reduce the brand of Fox. Because I feel like that kind of happened with George W. Bush. When George W. Bush was riding high and Fox was championing him and made them look good. But when he became extremely unpopular second term, Fox took a big hit. They were doing okay, but the record numbers that Fox was doing, and all the way through Obama and so forth, like they kind of became a fraction of themselves.
Huh. So she doesn't want to be embarrassed by being associated with a loser?
Because did you see that clip of Trump getting mad at the morning show people? And
no.
Oh, that's a good one. He was talking to the panelists and he was whining to the people at Fox about how they've been backing him less. And there's been stories about how the shine is off on Trump. But there was a recent story, I wish I could remember who did it, but it was all about somebody was analyzing the declining relationship between Fox and Trump, and they were making a case of all the shots that were kind of being taken at each other. And I think there's something to it. I think he and Fox, the romance has been on the wane for a while.
Right. I wonder if it's the COVID stuff. Like, I wonder if they're actually mad at him for maybe exposing them and others. I don't know.
One of the things the story was upset about, that they said it was upset about in the story, was how he was basically kind of treating them like his own personal, servants and stuff. Right. And he was actually messing up a lot of their shows with constantly popping up and demanding to ramble about whatever he wanted to ramble on and steamrolling over the host and everything.
Some have said that Barack Obama's come out to be the bad cop, to go after you. One of the things he said last night was he's going around spreading COVID like he's a carrier because he cares more about having these big crowds than he does keeping people safe. Do you want to respond to the former president?
Well, fortunately, he's drawing flies. He's not getting anybody to go listen to him too much. Actually, Fox puts him on more than anybody else, which is sort of shocking to me because Fox has changed a lot. And somebody said, what's the biggest difference between this and 4 years ago? And I say Fox. It's much different. You still have great people. But you're three of them.
But Mr. President, can I just say one thing? What they try to do with Fox
in terms of
but politics. We just want to show both. Unlike the other networks, they were trying to show both sides. So, hey, here's President Trump live. Here's Joe Biden live. Because
they're like explaining
the we report, they decide. Yeah. So I don't think it's an endorsement of anybody. But go ahead. When President Obama speaks, does he get under your skin? They say they
obviously
the reason.
They wouldn't put Sleepy Joe Biden on every time he opened his mouth. They had other networks for that, frankly. And it was run, it's a much different operation. I'm just telling you, it's much different. And, right. And you have great people when you have Sean and you have Laura and you yourselves and you have some incredible people. Yeah. I'm just saying, Tucker's been great. I think you really have incredible people, but it's much different. I could name some of your side players and
name them.
You'll
name
interview.
names.
You had a period of time. I think you're still doing it, but you had Democrats on more than you had Republicans. And look, it's different. I'm not complaining. I'm just telling people.
Oh, really?
It's one of the.
You're not complaining.
Yep.
Just own that. I hate when people do that. It's fun.
I'm not complaining, but I mean. I found the story. It's Newsweek.com. It came out in July, and it was the rise and fall of the relationship between Donald Trump and Fox News. And they did a whole timeline. It's by Emily Chakor.
His behavior toward the network has always oscillated between commendation and disapproval, with the latter prevailing more and more in recent months. Yeah. Well, he's so spoiled and entitled.
Yeah.
Hilarious. So that anything that's like, even them showing newsworthy stuff, like he won't say some kind of black news. Yeah. Like MSNBC shows him all the time. So and they're not exactly endorsing him. But as Les Moonves said, right, at CBS, he's good for ratings.
Yeah, I mean, he is. But, I think it's kind of started backfiring. I mean, as bad as Fox is, I think to some degree they still want to be seen as remotely realistic, a news source, like they can't become too much of a caricature, and that's kind of what's happening. Like people don't even really think of them as news anymore.
Yeah, right. I mean, it's funny that even they were like, "Oh, well, you have to understand. It's like we get criticized if we don't do this." They were like, "We get criticized." They were making it seem like it was almost like ridiculous that they got criticized for doing it, and that's the only reason we have to show it.
Oh, I think I found a really good one. Okay. This is the one that I was actually looking for. It's a little gossipy, but in a good way. And I think it's based on Brian Stelter's book, Hoax, Donald Trump, Fox News, and the Dangerous Distortion of Truth. And this article was by Brian Stelter. He was kind of summarizing his own book. And it really nails down how annoying he was to them and all his weird tics. Like, he would consent to on-camera chat, but he really liked the phone because it made him seem busy when he wasn't. So, and then the interviews were subject to his whims. Yeah, exactly. And there was a lot of competition among the Trump bootlickers at Fox to get his interviews, and he was kind of causing a lot of internal dissension. And after a while, people just got kind of sick at what he was turning the network into and the games he was playing.
So let's say Hannity has said to me more than once he's crazy. Fox News staffers feel trapped in the Trump cult. Inside, the network staffers are cringing, and even Trump's shadow chief of staff has his doubts. If you were hearing what I'm hearing, you'd be vaping too, Sean Hannity told a colleague during Trump's early days. He depended on propagandists like Hannity to keep the walls of his alternative reality intact. Yeah, that's true.